What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today I have a story of the first time that I played in an NBA practice. By popular demand, in my last video, I had mentioned it, and I said, let me know in the comments if you want to hear the story. And you guys let me know that you do want to hear the story. So this is my NBA practice story. So this time last year, training camp had just ended for the 76ers. Season was just starting. They started playing games, but James Harden was not playing yet. He was still ramping up because he didn't go to training camp with them because they had the whole trade scenario thing. And so I go out to Philly, and we're ramping up James, and we have what's called a stay ready game. So if you don't know, a stay ready game is where the guys who aren't getting a lot of minutes, they play a couple days a week just to stay active and get some in-game reps so that if they're called upon, they can step in and play. And so the stay ready game is the guys who aren't getting a lot of minutes, bench players, and then like the G League guys, the guys on a two-way. And then if you don't have enough of the NBA guys, then you just fill it with like player development. So it was pretty much like NBA guys, G League guys, and then there's a couple player development guys who had just gotten done playing pro as well. So they're all in shape and ready to go. And I'm going into the facility, and I'm hooking up James's heart rate monitor because I like to sit back and look at the heart rate and make sure we're where we need to be from a conditioning standpoint. And this is a normal day for me. I'm hooking him up. He's going out. He's warming up. I'm setting up my my iPad so I can monitor everything. And I can only count 9 players out there. And then I'm looking around the facility like there might not be any other able-bodied people here who could potentially be the 10th. And I just knew that I was going to have to go play. So I'm kind of hiding. Like, I haven't been playing, so I really don't want my first time playing in months to be in an NBA practice. You guys know how I am about workload spikes. Like, if you're not playing, you shouldn't play, especially in your mid-30s. If you're going to play, you need a gradual ramp up over several weeks. Anyways, I just know I'm going to get roped into this game. So the assistant coach is running the practice, Rico Hines. You guys probably know him from the Rico Hines runs. It's a 76ers assistant coach. So he goes out and he's like, oh, okay, we only got 9. Let's just play 4-on-4. And James goes, no, let's play 5-on-5. And Rico goes, no, we only got 8, so we'll just play 4s. And James says, Paul will play. And I knew this was going to happen. So luckily, I actually did have shoes in my bag because that's what hoopers do. You always have shoes. You never know when you're going to have to play. So I went, grabbed my shoes, no warm-up, and I hopped straight in to playing. Luckily, I was on James's team, which makes everything a lot easier. You don't even have to play that well as long as you're on his team because he puts you in good positions. But very first play, first when I'm going out to play, Rico says, all right, all you have to do is play the PJ Tucker role. You need to run to that corner and then run back on the other end and play some decent defense. That's all you got to do. Don't mess up this game. And so he's never seen me play, so he doesn't know I kind of got it like that, even though I'm a little bit washed right now. And so very first play, I catch the ball and I rip and go. They didn't expect the speed. I got in the lane, kicked it. 3-point shot goes down. I'm feeling good now. Okay, I can hang in this game. Go on the other end, play some good defense. Now I am being targeted, right? The NBA they're all about getting that switch. And so they call it duck hunting, and I am the duck that they are hunting because I'm 5'10", and they haven't seen me play. So of course you're going to try to get me in the pick and roll. And I held my own. Still do a lot of agility, so I'm quick enough. Still do a lot of strength training so I can wall up. And so defensively, I was really, really solid in this game. James kind of did his thing, and we won, and then they came back and won. I think it was like a best out of 7 series. And the only problem was I didn't get any time to warm up my shot, so my first open 3 like barely reached the rim, and then my next one I overcompensated and like shot it over the rim. When you don't get daily reps, you need a long time to warm up. So like I would have needed 20 minutes to actually feel out my shot in order to have a decent shooting day. And I didn't get any shooting reps that day. So It was clear that I was not going to be able to make a three, but I started getting things going. I started making good passes, came through the lane, behind the back passes. I had like a drop cross, spin, dump off to the big. I started getting lays, started getting floaters, mid ranges. And I heard the sideline, I heard the coach like, oh, dang. Like they didn't know that I can also hoop. They thought I was just like a strength coach. So overall, I thought I did actually really good. I was pissed that I couldn't shoot the ball, and they did sag off me, which did clog the lane. They kind of, when Russell Westbrook can't make a shot, it changes how the defense plays, and now everybody else is going 4-on-5. So then he's just trying to like make himself valuable by like back cutting and doing little things. That's kind of how I felt when I couldn't make a three. It's just so frustrating, frustrating for everybody on the court. But overall, I did really, really good. I didn't give up any buckets, even though they were targeting me. The main thing that I noticed, because I haven't played high-level basketball like that in a while, the speed, the speed of decision-making. So just like defensively, there's so many things being called out to you. You got low man, you tag, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's happening so fast and you're fatigued. So you got to think so quickly while you're fatigued. It's just so much different than high school, and college is kind of like that, but NBA is a whole nother level. Especially when it comes to like the nuances of guarding the pick and roll, the nuances of help defense. Like you have to be so mentally sharp. Now, luckily I know the terms that they're calling out, but I'm not used to hearing the term, processing what they mean, and then quickly making a decision. And so that's like a acquired skill. You have to go play with really good players at that level in order to be a quick decision maker defensively. So I felt like my brain was a step slow. And that's another reason why I always say like conditioning is very different from playing compared to like fitness conditioning or even running conditioning or even skills training conditioning, because the decision-making component burns more energy. I remember a study showing that like when your brain is active making decisions, it's like 20% more energy, more calories that you're burning. And so I'm in decent fitness shape at this time, but I'm not used to being tired while making decisions. And so that kind of fatigued me a little bit quicker. And there were some times in those games where I had one of those moments where if you're at LA Fitness, you're so tired that you're just like, all right, you guys got it. And you just stay back on defense. Like you don't even go down. And I couldn't do that because this is an important practice. So like I'm forcing my way through it. But it just reminded me how different fitness conditioning is from basketball conditioning, and how different it is that the higher level you play, the quicker the decisions you got to make. Your brain has to be overloaded constantly in order to think quickly and think at that level. So after the game, all the players came up to me. Oh, I see you, P. Oh, you're going crazy. Because some of them also didn't know that I could hoop a little bit. Like overall, if I was like playing and in shape and got a warm up, I feel like I could do way better. But it was cool to see that I could hang and like actually affect the game offensively and defensively. And everybody's showing love. It was really cool, very cool experience. But yeah, that's my NBA story. So after the practice, I was on my way back to the hotel, and I called my wife and I was like, yo, I just played in the 76ers practice. She's like, what? And I told her like, yeah, I played pretty well. And she's like, well, do you think they'll give you a 10-day? And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not getting a 10-day off of this. There's a lot of better players out there that deserve that 10-day. But yeah, that's my NBA story.